Namaste, and welcome to our continuing series on homeopathy with our beloved Dr. Pachegaonkar. Today we'll take up the lymphatic system.
This is again a circulatory system. See, the blood is flowing through arteries and then going to the system. System is utilizing it, and then through capillaries, the deoxygenated blood and with carbon dioxide and all goes to it. But with diffusion or osmosis process, the whole thing is not absorbed and circulated through veins. There occurs some sort of a remnant, the fluid which does not enter into venous system for a different reason. It is for safety reason. So this is called as lymph, and this fluid has a different drainage system, and this through lymphatic circulation such fluid is collected in our body, and around 3 liters per day is on an average it is collected. It's like a parallel system, and for safety reasons it is created. Mainly the what we call antigen, unwanted bacteria, or the bacterial invasion, all these organisms, they are collected, because if they are going into veins, then it would directly go to liver and heart. Therefore, there is a wonderful system where the extra fluid like this, along with some pathogens and toxins, it is collected as lymph, and then it is carried to lymph nodes. And this, our body has almost 600 lymph nodes, and each lymph node is, the lymph is collected, the extra fluid, serous fluid, and this collection is filtered. Where is, suppose it is a bacterial invasion, these bacteria are phagocytosed, neutralized, nullified, and then the remaining fluid again carries further. So each lymph node works as a local filter, and through these lymph nodes, if once it is filtered, that pathogens and all are arrested, then remaining matter goes ahead, and then it is collected through our system, and then with series of filters it goes to the system again. So it is a parallel system where it is collected. And see, for example, there is a cell which is a neoplastic, a malignant cell. Now this malignant cell, body realizes that this is antagonistic. Body recognizes it. And these cells are again carried to lymph node, and there they are arrested. And therefore, whenever there is malignancy, we find that the lymph nodes surround it, around that organ, or the what we call lymphatic drainage of that organ is surged, because there the cancer cells are arrested. They may not be eradicated, but these cells can be arrested, and so are the organisms, tubercular organism or any type of bacterial invasion. It is arrested there, it is neutralized there. If it is not eradicated, at least it is not allowed to multiply, and then these lymph nodes, they get enlarged. So there would be some inflammation or defense getting roused. And the another name for this system is reticuloendothelial system, where our lymphocytes, they are produced and transported, and manufactured and transported by this lymphatic system, what we call lymphocytes. And lymphocytes are the main, ingredient of blood, where the phagocytose, especially in chronic infections like tuberculosis. In acute infections, those are neutrophils, polymorphs, what we call. But in chronic infections like tuberculosis and all, these lymphocytes play the main role, and they nullify the bacteria, they phagocytose them. If they can't phagocytose, they form giant cells and nullify them. They don't allow them to multiply, and the lymph nodes try to, what they call it, resolve the issue of infection, and then the sterile fluid is carried forward and again it gets embedded or joins the same stream, venous stream, and comes to heart. So this sort of a parallel circulation is there, where all the antigen, toxic material, or the malignancy potential cells, these are carried there and taken care of. So this lymphatic system also works, and especially the what we call T cells, these antibodies and all are produced by the T cells in our lymphatic system. And like spleen is organ of this lymphatic system. Spleen is reticuloendothelial system organ. Even tonsils, it is like a lymphoid tissue. Tonsils, that is what we call, they are the guards. What we ingest, and if that has some contagion, streptococci or any invasive bacteria, it also arrests it there. The tonsils and adenoids. Tonsils, something which is lymphoid tissue in tonsillar fossa. Adenoids is a retropharyngeal fossa. Just same, it is a lymphoid tissue, and that plays crucial role in arresting infections in the lungs and in our intestine. Whatever is ingested or whatever we inhale, that also is filtered, and all these organisms which are harmful, they are arrested there, and therefore people develop tonsillitis if there is a chance of infection. But this tonsillitis is something which is actually a defense. We call them guard at the entry point. Similarly, we have even appendix is supposed to play the same role. Even in appendix also, it is appendix is at the junction of small intestine and large intestine. So if there are pathogens, they can be recognized there, and appendix works as what we call a seat for as a probiotic. So friendly organisms which are needed for our digestion and assimilation, those organisms are provided. It provides like a culture for these organisms.
But isn't the appendix disappearing from the human body now?
They say it is a process of evolution, and these lower animals or cattle, for example, they have for rumination, they have one chamber where they just collect the food material in one, and they ruminate and then put it into the mainstream intestinal tract. So this is missing in human beings. They say this is the remnant of that. But definitely, even in human beings, this plays the role in this way, that it provides like a culture for friendly organisms. Even our small intestines also have lymphatic material which filters or takes care of these pathogens in the intestinal tract. So all over the body there is a parallel system of circulation, where it is mainly the immunology part which plays this lymphatic, and a thymus is another gland which plays part in, especially in growing age, especially in children before the birth and till adolescent. It is very active. It actually trains our system to immune yourself against any possible invasion. And then as age advances, the thymus becomes inactive and not significant organ.
You say that the lymph nodes collect things like cancer cells, but they don't destroy them.
If see, that is what we call in computer language quarantine. See, if antivirus package will device will try to eradicate the virus or remove the virus, but if it can't remove, it quarantines it so that the remaining part doesn't get affected. Same way, body arrests it and quarantines it from affecting the body. So it is not allowed to multiply there.
Got it. Thank you so much. Very, very enlightening. Namaste all. We'll see you again next week.